Hi, welcome back. My name is Marie, and this is my neighbor Nicole, and we are excited to do some signing and share some art with you today, so let's get started. First of all, we wanted to make sure, since we're still in our quarantine mode, that we use materials that everyone has. So today, we have some scissors, pencil, marker, glue stick or tape, either will work, and then some bright colorful paper. If you don't have bright construction paper, you can always use white and color on it, but color is going to be really important for today, because today we are going to be working on pop art. So I'll show you here. This is an example of pop art. Pop art uses things or people that are popular right now and creates art from it. So my son's favorite animal, which is a very popular pet right now, is a French bulldog. So we thought a French bulldog might be really fun to make some pop art. And you can see how color plays a really big deal in this. There was a famous artist, and his name was Andy Warhol, and he did lots of pop art. So this is kind of Andy Warhol inspired, and all you need is paper. So one thing before we get started, if you are not a fan of French bulldogs, you can always create your own, or you can go back to our previous videos and you can use the ILY sign that we did in the last video, and you could make different ILYs, you could draw your own, lots of options, so whatever you would like. Alright, so let's get started. The first thing that you'll need are 4 squares of paper. Now I cut my squares to be 5 inches long by 5 inches wide, a 5 by 5. But you can choose how big or how small you want to make it, and you want to choose 4 different colors of paper, whatever colors you want for your background paper. So that's the first thing you're going to do. You're going to cut your 4 squares into your 5 by 5s, just like this. And then, step 2, you're going to get yourself something to back your paper on. Last time I showed you that you could use like a cereal box like this. For my project today, since it comes out to be an 11 by an 11 square, I needed something a little bigger, so I used an Amazon box. You can see that right there. So the first step is to measure your squares and cut them out so they're all the same size, and like I mentioned, you need 4. And then you're going to cut your box to an 11 by an 11 if you're using those dimensions. Okay? And what you're going to do is just glue each one of your squares onto the box. So you'll have 4 different areas, just like our front one. Okay? So that's step 1. Alright, step 2. I have a printable that I drew. You can find it in the comment section, or I can leave it in the descriptions. I'll leave it in both. And you can print it out. What you're going to do is notice that there is black and orange section, and we're going to cut out one section at a time. We're going to do the black first. Okay, so make sure you only cut out the black first. So you're going to cut right along the black line here. Alright, and once you have it cut, it will look like this. Okay, so then you're going to take some paper, put it on your paper, grab your pencil, and you're just going to trace around the black line, all around it. And you're going to do this 4 times on 4 different colored papers, because, again, if you look at mine, there are 4 dog heads, and they're all in different colors. So I'm doing this one right here today. Okay? So I've traced it, and there it is. Okay? Now once it's traced, the next step is to get your scissors, and you're just going to cut out right along the black line there. So it will end up looking like this. Alright? And then you'll take your glue and you can glue it on. Now, it's important that you glue them all about the same distance. So you might want to measure on this rather than just placing it on. So after I do my first one, I might want to measure how far from the top I glued it, because if I glue these all in different spots, it's not going to look the same as the look that we were going for. So you want to try to glue all your heads about the same distance from the top in all your papers. Okay, so once you do that, then we're going to move on to step 2. And remember, you should have done that 4 times and made 4 different dog heads. Now we're going to go back to our stencil, and we're going to just cut the orange part. So this is tricky. It's very difficult to cut this little orange part, not easy. If you need to ask a parent to help, that might be a good idea. But when it's done, it should look like this. Okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to trace around it with your pencil. Get your pencil, trace a line all around it, and again you're going to do it 4 times in 4 different colors. Okay? 4 different colors. Now, just to show you with mine, I used this little snout area that we're going to be tracing and cutting out. I used it to match the paper in the background. Okay, so yellow on yellow, pink on pink, green on green. So that's kind of what I did. And then I just made the dog heads all different colors. Up to you how you want to do it, but if you want it to come out looking somewhat similar, that's how you would do that. All right, so once you have that done, you're going to have something that looks like this on your paper, and you're going to need to cut that out. So, I have already pre-cut mine. There it is. And now, get your glue again. And you're going to see where you want it, and you're going to glue it on. Be sure there's 2 different sides, and they're actually not exactly symmetrical. So whenever you're gluing, you want them all to look the same. So make sure you glue all 4 of these the same direction. If that makes sense. So I'm going to glue this on. And voila. Now, I've made the first little dog. And then I can turn it over and glue it onto my backing. And I have the first step done. So then you just repeat that 3 other times, and you'll have some really cool pop art that you can do right from home with all the supplies you need. So before we say goodbye, we'd like to thank you for tuning in. I'd really like to thank my neighbor Nicole for interpreting. If you don't know, an interpreter is someone that helps. They listen to the words that a hearing person is speaking, and then they use signs, and Miss Nicole's using ASL, and that way, deaf and hard of hearing people, they always have access to language. They always know what's happening. And that's very important, and we're so grateful to our interpreters in our community. And we're grateful to all of you for watching. So we hope you have a great day, and we hope to see you next time. Bye.